Hello. This coming Sunday is Divine Mercy Sunday, and I wanted to share with you another homily that I've given on Divine Mercy Sunday. St. John Paul II once said, "There's nothing more that a man needs than divine mercy." Hold on, let me straighten you up. I'll get this, I promise you. Divine mercy, that love which is benevolent, that is compassionate, which raises man above his weakness to the infinite heights of the holiness of God. I'd like to ask you today to be apostles of divine mercy. I'm humbled and blessed to speak with you on Divine Mercy Sunday. Never has this mercy been more important than it is right now, today. Seldom has our state and country been confronted with a trial such as we are facing now, a trial that touches us all, rich, poor, young and old alike, a trial that screams for us to call on God's mercy. We call on His mercy this year by making an act of contrition and an act of spiritual communion. History tells us that nearly 80 years ago, Jesus appeared to a nun named Faustina in Poland. During his appearance to Faustina, he asked that a portrait be painted of his image. I suspect that by this time you've all seen the image of Jesus, with his hand raised in blessing and with two rays of light emerging from his sacred heart. One white, representing our baptism, and one red, representing his most holy blood in the Eucharist. Faustina was told that this image was to be venerated throughout the world as the world called out for his mercy. At the bottom was to be inscribed the words, "Jesus, I trust in you." In addition, Jesus gave Faustina the Divine Mercy Chaplet and told her that we would come to the aid of anyone if they were praying the chaplet or prayed for them. Also, you did not have to be in the presence of the person for the chaplet to provide his great mercy. Most especially, he asked that it be prayed at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, the hour of his passion for the sins of the world. All of these revelations can be found in Faustina's diary. St. John Paul the Great instituted this feast 20 years ago, and he was canonized on this feast in 2014. There are excellent resources on Formed regarding Faustina and John Paul II. I would recommend Ocean of Mercy, but there's others. Today would be an awesome day to watch one of these great films with your family. Certainly devotion to divine mercy has grown over the last 20 years, but I feel like now is the time that we most especially need mercy in our church. We need to reach out. We need to beg for God's mercy. Our first reading today from the Acts of the Apostles tells us that they lived communally. It tells us they all lived together and broke bread together in their homes. The pandemic frustrated God's purpose in this regard, but it showed that the people of God will rise above this trial. We did many things during the pandemic. We streamed Mass. We streamed our fellowship groups. We can call and talk with each other. We shared our time on Facebook. There were, it turned out, a multitude of ways to live out community during the trial of the pandemic. Why not reach out to some of those same people that you reached out to then? Why not post on your Facebook page the image of divine mercy for all to see? A lot of commercials these days say we are all in this together, and in many ways that's true. We have an identity as Catholics that can be lived out in community virtually if we're merely reach out to friends and family. Thomas in today's gospel does something we don't talk much about when we discuss Thomas. We've all heard it said that he is doubting Thomas. He doesn't believe until he sees the Lord. Mostly, that is an accurate portrayal. But the interesting thing to me as I reflected on Thomas this week is that Thomas is shown as returning to the community. He's not like the rest of the apostles. Where has he been? He isn't hiding like the rest of the apostles for fear of the Jews. Scripture really doesn't provide us with an answer, but maybe, just maybe, he's out searching for Jesus in this time of trial. Maybe he was searching just like you're searching right now. Maybe he was asking questions about the Lord of the other disciples, just like you are asking questions right now as you struggle to understand this economy, this country. Thomas was looking for strength, and he found it in community and in the Lord. Thomas's answer, I submit, comes from the same place that your answer can come from. Thomas's answer comes directly from the person of Jesus and the community of believers. Thomas sees and believes. But Jesus tells us, blessed are those who have not seen but believe. He's talking about you. He is talking about his mercy. Jesus is encouraging all of us. Jesus is talking about all of us and those future generations to devote themselves to the Lord and their communities, and they will be blessed. Throughout the generations of the church, there have been glimpses of the holy reality of Jesus. Some have come to believe because of an apparition of the Virgin Mary, some because of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, some from a poor doorkeeper of a friar named Solanus Casey. Still more have come to believe because they have seen and venerated the divine image of Jesus shown to St. Faustina. Like Thomas, they have seen and believed. Join me at home with Faustina and with Thomas to proclaim, Jesus, I trust in you. Jesus, I trust in you. Jesus, I trust in you. May God bless you all and give you peace.